Okay, continuing in our endeavors, we have set the character formatting for our project here, our assignment. And one of the things that if you left this undone like I did, I wanted to set the size and the weight and color, okay, of, it would zoom in, of the headline here. Okay, it was red, it was large and bold. All right, so that's about it. Now the next things that we're going to do is formatting the paragraph formatting. And what are those kinds of things? Well, for paragraph formatting are things like the space after, left or right indent, alignment if there is a different alignment, the first line indent, hyphenation, whether it's on and off. There's another control we're going to use, balance ragged lines, and that is to balance out your paragraph all across the board so that the end of the lines are not so ragged in and out. Okay, I don't always use that, but it can be used if you need it. Okay, what other kinds of things can we add on? And that would be making sure that our space after, and I like to tighten it up just a little bit. Okay, so let's move forward. The very first one, I'm going to go from top to bottom as far as the paragraph, and the headline here. Okay, the space after is 0.25 inches. Okay, as we're looking for paragraph formatting, of course, you're going to go either in the control panel, and if we look up here towards the corner, then you want to click on the paragraph formatting controls icon, and that brings up alignment in this area. Okay, in the next area, it's all with the paragraph, the indenting, spacing, space after and before. Okay, if you don't remember what those are, hover over them, drop caps and whatnot. In a later video, of course, we'll take care of numbered and bulleted lists and things like that. But for now, this is our formatting. If you want to use the paragraph panel, okay, it has the same controls here, and the flyout menu to it has some very specific controls. We're going to use one of them in this video. Okay, let's get started. I do have the headline started, and I want, it is left hand aligned, okay, but the space after is 0.25, and so where is that control? Okay, right here, space after. I'm going to click in here, 0.25, and that's 1/4 of an inch. Okay, we already have that into place. Great, we've gotten a lot more space in there. Now the next thing that we need to do, we don't have space in between these paragraphs. Now if you're looking to click in the end of a paragraph and press enter or return, then you have a space, a whole jump of a line. So we're trying to jump to get to the 2 lines down, actually. That's harder for somebody to make that jump. Yes, they can do it, but we want to make it as easy to read as possible. And so, you know, we don't want too much space. We're going to control it a different way than you might be used to in Microsoft land, okay? So, having too much space in between, yeah, look at that. You could drive a truck through there. Okay, it makes sense for the headline, and then the body copy is different. But let's take that out. Okay, we just want one text return. So I'm going to select all of my text following my directions here. The body copy, all of this is the same. And we have the body copy as space after 0.125. That is 1/8 of an inch. Okay, So going back in here, space after, I'm typing in 0.125 and press enter or return. Okay, now that looks pretty good, but for me personally, and this is something that after working with text for so long, if you need that to be tightened up, and I like mine a little bit more tight, then I want to put it in terms of points. So instead of 0.125, and my text size, my character size, is actually 10 point size. I like to put half the size of the text. So 10 point type, half of that is 5 points. So the space after I like 5 points. Okay, so I'm going to show you what the difference is there. So click in here. And how do we type that? 0p, meaning 0 picas, and then the number 5, which means 5 points. So 0p5 means 0 picas, 5 points. Okay, you could also type in 5pt. Okay, press enter or return. Okay, it tightens it up just a little bit. And for me professionally, this is a little bit more polished. Okay, less space, we're good with it. I have enough air in between, and people can read that a little bit more naturally. All right, the next thing is, on that body copy, I want to left indent the entire paragraph, and then the first line indent, guess what? We're going in a negative direction. So I'm going to show you a trick, because you see here how we have the very first line is kind of by itself, and then the rest of the paragraph is indented in. So this is kind of a hanging paragraph. That's what it's called, a hanging paragraph, hanging indent, in other words. What we do is left indent in a positive direction. Okay, we shove it over towards the right from the left. Then the first line alone, we go in the negative direction exactly the same amount, and it will make this effect. So if we have these paragraphs selected again, I'm going to go with the left indent. Let's take a look at that a little closer. Click in your left indent. It is 0.5. That is half an inch. Okay. Then click in or tab to the first line indent. Okay, so do you see that it shoved everything over on the left-hand side towards the right-hand side? So now our paragraphs are more narrow. But in the first line indent, I'm going to do exactly a negative. Yes, we can do that. Hit the hyphen key, which basically is negative, okay, minus, and then 0.5. That's a negative direction. Your first lines are going to go backwards, a half an inch. Okay, fantastic. That looks great. Now, what else do we need to do in here? We want to turn off the hyphenation for the document, okay, and then turn on balanced rag lines. So let's do that. In the paragraph panel, hyphenate is checked, and so I want to uncheck that. And the reason for that, I want to make sure that I'm not getting too much hyphenations all over the place, because we can have that, and once I change the balance rag lines, you're going to see I will have needed that. So uncheck the hyphenate, and then in the flyout menu to the paragraph panel, I'm looking for balance rag lines. That will take each and every paragraph and balance even the last line with the first lines, and they will be about the same length. That's what that means. Now, I don't always recommend or use this. It depends on your situation. You may find use for this. Okay? When you're doing a nice long article, hyphenation is just fine. So once in a while you might have a paragraph that you're trying to wrap around another picture or whatever. You might have to balance ragged lines. You can do a single paragraph if you like. Okay, so last but not least, we are going to take the last two lines here, and they're going to be aligned towards the right hand side. So we'll go into the paragraph and align right. And so that looks pretty good. For finishing this document, there's just a couple of other things that we need to do. And let's see, take a look at how we can balance this out and spelling.